Okay, let's dive right in. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're tackling something that literally affects, well, almost every single one of us. Social media distractions. And more importantly, how we can actually go about reclaiming our time and our focus. Look, there's absolutely no denying that social media has become this incredibly important, deeply ingrained part of our daily lives, right? I mean, it's right there in our pockets, buzzing away from the moment we wake up to the second we go to sleep. But today, we're going to use our source material to really unpack what that constant connectivity is actually doing to us and how we can finally take the reins back.
So let's be completely honest with ourselves for a second here. Do you know where your time really went today? Think about it. How many times did you pick up your phone just to check the time? Or maybe look at one quick message, and suddenly you realize you've just spent 30 minutes swiping through your feed? It's a really subtle creep. Digital burnout doesn't usually happen all at once, you know? It happens minute by minute, swipe by swipe.
Which brings us to Section 1, the double-edged sword.
There's this massive divide between what we want from our apps and what we actually get. The intended purpose of social media is honestly fantastic. It helps us communicate, learn, and stay informed about the world, and those are genuinely great things. But then we have the reality. Excessive use morphs this highly helpful tool into a major distraction, and the data shows this is especially true for students and young people. It's crazy because the very tool meant to connect us can actually end up pulling us away from what matters most.
Moving on to Section 2, the productivity drain.
This creates what the sources called an academic cascade. It starts innocently enough, right? Hours spent scrolling videos and chatting with friends. But that quickly evolves into actively chasing these endless online trends. And the real damage happens next. This constant switching and overstimulation severely reduces your concentration. Ultimately, instead of studying, that lost energy leads straight to poor grades. It's not just a harmless break anymore, it's a literal cascade that actively undermines your academic success.
And this distraction wastes our most valuable resource, which is our time. We've all been there. It's 7 p.m., you sit down, you decide to check just one notification, but suddenly you look up, it's 8 p.m. and you're still scrolling through short videos. Then the clock hits 9 p.m. What our source material emphasizes here is this massive snowball effect. Those minutes spent checking notifications turn into hours, leaving little to no time for genuinely productive activities. That's totally lost time for reading, for exercising, or just simply spending quality time with your family.
But the cost isn't just the time on the clock, it's the actual quality of our attention. Constant exposure to short videos and this endless stream of quick, bite-sized content comes with a hidden negative effect, and that is a severely reduced attention span. When you're constantly consuming content this way, you're essentially training your brain to require constant, rapid stimulation. Because of that, it becomes significantly harder to focus on long tasks or sit through classroom lessons. We're basically rewiring our own ability to sustain attention.
Let's look at Section 3, the mental health toll. Perhaps the most concerning effect detailed in our source material is how excessive use traps us in this vicious cycle of comparison. When you're constantly comparing yourself to the highlight reels of others online, it triggers a whole cascade of negative emotions. It may cause stress, anxiety, low self-esteem, and incredibly deep feelings of loneliness. Even though you're supposedly connected to hundreds or even thousands of people online, the psychological toll of that constant comparison can leave you feeling more isolated than ever. But the good news is, we absolutely do not have to just accept this.
That leads us to Section 4, how to regain control.
You can actually implement 3 concrete steps today to take your time back and overcome these distractions. First up, set daily time limits. Be really intentional about how much time you're giving these apps. Second, turn off unnecessary notifications. Stop letting the app dictate when you look at your phone. I mean, you should be the one in charge of your attention, right? And third, avoid using phones during study or work. Just create a physical boundary. If you're trying to concentrate, put the phone in another room or just totally out of sight, out of mind.
Ultimately, this all comes down to a choice between two worlds. The online world is filled with endless digital distractions constantly competing for your attention. To truly regain control, we've got to actively prioritize the real world. That means investing our energy into face-to-face relationships and productive activities. We literally have to make the conscious decision to engage deeply with our physical surroundings rather than letting our precious time get siphoned off by digital isolation.
And finally, Section 5, finding your balance.
Because the core takeaway here is that social media is not inherently evil. It's a highly useful tool when used wisely to communicate, learn, and stay informed.
But, and this is a massive but, when it controls our time and our attention, it actively hinders personal growth, it damages academic success, and it really degrades our overall well-being. The absolute key here is responsibility, and just maintaining a healthy balance between the online world and the real world.
I want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative thought to chew on today as we wrap up this explainer. Are you using social media, or is social media using you? It's a pretty powerful question, isn't it? Remember the steps we covered today. Take back control of your notifications, set those time limits, and ensure that you are the one in the driver's seat of your own time and attention. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this topic today. Now go out there and enjoy the real world.